Hi, year 11, Mr. Leah here. I don't think, again, I'm not with you again in today's lesson, which is a bit of a shame, but I want to keep going with the work. So I'm going to do a short video here to guide you through this lesson on two things: lowest common multiple, highest common factor. So we'll do one of each. In the next, when I come back, hopefully this is the last lesson I miss. So in next lesson, you'll get booklets, and we'll start going through booklets of revision. Make sure that you're finely tuned for these GCSEs, okay? Also, boot camp will start for us next week. So that's something else to look forward to. So let's get through today, and then hopefully we can get back to some sort of normal going forward. So we'll start with the lowest common multiple. Okay, lowest common multiple, LCM. Basically, the lowest number that is in the times table of two or more numbers. So if I gave you numbers like 15 and 20, and I asked you for the lowest common multiple, there are ways to do this, but the easiest way is just to try and take your time and write out the times table of each. So for 15, it would be 15. 15 out of 15 is 30. Now it's easy to make mistakes. If you need to do little adding up sums, keep adding 15 onto the number, add 15, add 15, until you get there. Let's crack on though. So, I mean, I'm going to go to 5 or 6 numbers and hope that's far enough. That's the 15 times table. Now I'll do the 20 times table. And once I get to a number in the first list, that is my lowest common multiple, the lowest number in both times tables, okay? Don't try, I'll do another example for you, then you can try some on a worksheet for me. So let's go with, what are we going to go for? 18, let's go slightly harder, and 42. Now, it's not obvious. You may need to go 36 at it. You might have to, okay? But in the end, it's worth it to get it right, 54. And you may have to keep going again, 54, add another 18. 72, right? And if that's the way to make you get this right, do it, right? So you can get 5 or 6 of a number. Let's see if that's enough. It may or may not be. Okay, 42, add 42 is 84. No, it's not going to be enough. Add another 42 is 126. If I keep going with this one, add another 18 on here, 108. If I add another 18, 126. But don't be afraid to have lots and lots of adding up sums. Now, this type of question might be tied up in a wordy question. This is numeracy after all. So we've looked at examples in the past where it's somebody runs a lap in this time, another person runs a lap in this time. When will they arrive at the starting point together? Or something from the mock was there are this many buttons in a pack and this many pins in a different pack. How many packs of buttons do I need and how many packs of pins so that I end up with the same number? So very wordy. So what I'm going to ask you to do now is pause this video, and on one side of your worksheet you should have some lowest common multiple questions. Do that side, and hopefully then in 10 minutes you can come back to this video and we'll talk about the highest common factor. And the second part of the video is HCF, highest common factor. Okay, so rather than the lowest number that the numbers go into, this is the highest number that goes into both numbers. Now, if the numbers are easy, it's fairly easy to do this in your head. Okay, so if I said to you, what is the biggest number? What is the biggest factor of 14, which is also a factor of 21? So the factors of 14 are 1, 2, 7, and 14. Factors of 21 are 1, 3, 7, and 21. So the biggest factor of both is 7. That's the highest common factor. All right, if the numbers are pretty simple, okay, but can be quite tricky. If I said to you, for example, what is the highest common factor of 80 and 36? An alternative method, okay, using the product of prime numbers. A little bit tricky. So if you remember, our prime numbers are 2, 3, 5, 7, 11, etc., etc. They should be enough. Okay, think back to these product of prime trees that we did. Which one of these numbers definitely goes into 80? Okay, 2. So 80 is 2 times 40. Because 2 is prime, circle it. Which one of these prime numbers goes into 40? Well, we could use 2 again. 2 times 20, because 2 is prime, circle it. And then 20 is 2 times 10, circle it. And 10 is 2 times 5. But because 5 is also in the list, circle that as well. So every end of a branch now has a prime number. Okay, let's do the same with 36. 2 and half of 36 is 18. 2, oh, mistake. Should not have circled that. That is continuing. It's 2 times 9. Only the 2 is a prime. 9 isn't prime. So continue it. This time I can't divide by 2. So what number in that list of primes could go into 9? 3. How many times? It's 3 times 3. Both prime. Okay. Now how does this link to the highest common factor? It's a bit new for you, something to try out, okay? So it's a method that always works. If there is a number here that is also here, like for example, this 2 and this 2, cross it out and write it over here. There's another 2 here and another 2 here. Cross it out and write it over here. There's a 2, a 2 and a 5 left here, but here there's a 3 and a 3. Okay, so there are no more numbers that I can see on the left that I can also see on the right. Multiply those together, you get 4. That means that the highest common factor of these two numbers actually is 4. It's a lot lower than we thought. Here's one more example. Let's go for 60 and 75. 60 is 2 times 30, prime. 30 is 2 times 15, prime. 15 is 3 times 5, prime. Okay. 75, can't divide that by 2, maybe 3, but more obviously I think 5. How many 5s go into 75? The answer is 15. And then 15 is 3 times 5. Now there's a 2 in this list, but not over here. And another 2, but not over here. There's a 3 here, and there's also a 3 in this answer. So let's write that down. There's a 5 in this answer, which is also a 5 in that answer. Let's write that down. Multiply them together. The answer is 15. So the highest number that goes into 60 and 75 is 15. Again, you may have done that without this method, but it works. Okay, so you can pause this video here. Remember to do these trees, pick out the common numbers, and we're looking to stop on branches that end with 2, 3, 5, 7, and maybe 11, your prime numbers. Okay, try the second part of your worksheet, and hopefully this is the last lesson we have to do this for, and I'll see you all next lesson.